present to Gary E. Francis. Whereas having been designated qualified in submarine for more than 50 years and a member of the U.S. Submarine Veterans in good standing, the U.S. Submarine Veterans is extremely proud to bestow upon you membership of the Holland Club. Your induction into the Holland Club is testimony of your years of honorable, faithful service to the United States Navy Submarine Force. Granted, the 11th day of April 2024, qualified in submarines in 1972, USS Skipjack, SSN 585. 585. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you. Now, this next one comes from the Rocky Mountain base. So the United States Submarine Veteran Holland Club, Rocky Mountain base. Shipmate Gary E. Francis. Welcome aboard, shipmate. We are pleased to present your Holland Club certificate pack, coin, and membership card. Presentation on this special occasion in recognition of your 50 years or more submarine qualification and service to your country. The National Commander, William Andrew, Holland Club Chairman, Jim Irwin, and shipmates take great pleasure in welcoming you as a member of the Holland Club. Thank you very much. You have a coin attached, and then you have a card that's inside there. Wow. Thank you. You will. That's great. Fantastic. Everybody have it? Yeah. All right. Holland Club, folks, to the adjournment control table. Aye, aye, Skipper.
Well, it's okay.
We also, if somebody could take a picture, we really appreciate it. For some reason, Jeff is not here. Whose job? Oh, okay. Good. Yeah. Show all your teeth. Yes.
For you ladies.
Okay, so I call this meeting to order. Will everyone stand for the pledge of allegiance? Gary, would you like to lead us in the pledge of allegiance? Gary?
Gary.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to your republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing, Myra.
Okay, let's pray, guys. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for getting us together again another time here for fellowship and just enjoying the company of our shipmates. I just thank you for each person here, all the submariners in this group that have contributed to keeping this country safe and free. I thank you for them and just ask a special blessing on them and their lives. I just ask you to be present at this meeting tonight. It's kind of an important meeting, and we just ask for your guidance and your wisdom as we do our elections tonight, and just ask for your help in them being successful and productive. We just give this meeting over to you now and ask that your will be done in this meeting tonight. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
The USSVI Creed. To perpetuate the memory of our shipmates who gave their lives in pursuit of their duties while serving their country. Let their dedication, deeds, and supreme sacrifice be a constant source of motivation towards greater accomplishments. We pledge loyalty and patriotism to the United States of America and its Constitution. Please remain standing for the tolling of the votes. USS Wallace, SS-192, lost on 23 May 1939 when it flooded and sank off Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The boat was salvaged and recommissioned under the new name. 26 men lost. USS Legato, SS-371, lost on 3 May 1945 in the Gulf of Siam during a Japanese surface attack. 86 men lost. USS Stickleback, SS-415, rammed on exercises off Hawaii by the USS Silverstein, DD-534, on 28 May 1958. All crew safely evacuated prior to sinking, 29 May 1958. No men lost. USS Scorpion, SSN 589, lost on 22 May 1968 due to unknown causes, 400 miles southwest of the Azores in the Atlantic. 99 men lost. In keeping with the USSVI creed, let us remain in a mood of reverence and respect while we take a moment to remember those submariners who have received their final orders and are now serving on Internal Patrol. The Rocky Mountain Base Internal Patrol list for May. Arthur B. Ochtmeyer, 5/5/2007. William Donald Irving, 5/9/2012. John Jophus Nash, 5/24/2015. Marcy Grimes, 5/19/2016. Michael Bunce, 5/21/2018. So a moment of silence. Please be seated. Holland Club. You ready? For most submariners, a submerged submarine provides a quiet, somewhat tranquil setting free from many of the distractions present in everyday surface work. So in keeping with that, we'll take her down to our regular meeting. Clear the bridge. Take her down. Dive. Dive. Okay, so we do have quite a few new people here. So let's go ahead and do the introductions and we'll just give your name and the boat you qualified on. And I guess we'll start with Helen. Oh. Greg. Very. Yeah. The bottom one is up. Bottom switch. All right. You're going to use that one to show you how to use the marker. Well, 5 years of now, the summer of '84, and and
It's not loud, that thing goes in and out.
Yeah, we're gonna put batteries for or something.
Okay. Robert,
USS John Marshall, November 1971.
that's,
SSB and 6 gold money. And I'm here with my lovely wife, Marcia.
Richard.
My name's Richard Vaughn. I qualified on the USS Piper SS 409, December 1964. And I brought my neighbor, Terry Cirillo, who was gracious enough to fix some Italian biscotti for our enjoyment at the break. So, hope you enjoy it.
Cal. Cal Ball.
It's not working.
Cal Ball, qualified on the.
Great. Qualified on the USS Woodrow Wilson, 6/24 Blue Crew, in I think July of 1973. 1 year after you did. Hey, Francis, qualified on USS Skipjack in February of 1972. Richard Mackin, qualified USS Japan, May 1972.
I hear it. Let's get it all hooked up.
We're loud. Yeah.
Ready?
We already knew that. Okay, go. Wow.
Wanting just please.
That one. Operation Guard qualified on the USS Tusk SS 426 on June of 1968. These are both forever.
Good evening, Dennis Robinson. I had my better half for the last 56 years, Barbara. My first call vote was in 1964 aboard the USS John Adams, SSBN 620. Passed at 12 and 14 out of Holy Lock. The second call vote was the USS Ace, 1966. FSM 607. Attached to Squadron 10 at a rock.
Right.
Go Black.
Michael Lewis, I qualified aboard John C. Calhoun, SSBN 630 Blue, 1967.
Go ahead and go.
My name is Bill Anderson. I qualified on US SS 572 in 1964, and with me is my wife, so 62 years. Okay. Qualified USS Randy SS 420 in 1962.
That works.
Andy?
Andy?
Oh, veteran associate member, qualified on the USS Colorado as commissioning chaplain, flank honorary flank holder, 2018. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think those things
I'm Jack Rose. I qualified in 1966 on the USS Segundo, who's supposed forever. And then again in 1967, I qualified on the MG Vallejo SSBN 658.
This from a new.
Michael,
I'm Mike Padu. I qualified in 1968 for the USS Queenfield SSN 651.
Yeah.
Robert. Robert Woodrow, I'm here with my wife, Jill Mayer. Yeah. Never forget. Qualified as a sonar tech on the John Marshall 611 in 1963, and as a JG on the von Steuben 632 in 71. Yeah. Come on, oh, yeah, that folks. Yeah, oh yes. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. How would it? Try. All right. I'm Dick Light. Why you tell me to turn it upside down, Chaplain? Well, it's working. Hey, Chaplain, you're always saving me. That's right, in various ways. Anyway, okay. Dick Light, USS Chopper, yeah, SS 320, and Florida in 1966. And then I went on to some other boats, and then I left the boat since I couldn't qualify to be a nuke like most of you guys. Okay. You know, snake and nuke. Yeah. Neither am I. Hi, I'm Grant Day. I qualified on the USS Benjamin Franklin SSBN 640 Blue in September 1969. I'm your base treasurer, as well as your webmaster and membership chairman. Ooh, you hold a lot of that. Let me see if I can remember like this. You know, standing by phone. Hi, Gail Bowman. I qualified on the Ulysses grant in 1968. And I'm here today with my lovely wife, Marlon, Tammy, for 50 some odd years. And I'm Dan Ballard. I qualified on the USS Henry L. Stetson 655 Blue in 1989.
I'm Myra. I'm an associate member. I was a nurse, Air Force nurse during the Vietnam era, March Air Force Base. I'm here because I want to be.
And let me just say one thing. I know you guys don't like the mic, but if we're trying to record this for our shipmates who aren't able to be here, if you're not on the mic, then they can't hear you and all they can see is a mouth move. So that it's not for necessarily for the people in here, it's for the people that are going to watch it later.
And I'm Harley, so your base commander. And so I don't forget, I'm here with my lovely wife of 20 years. Julie, raise your hand. I qualified on the USS William H. Bates in August of 1974. Then I went on to qualify in the La Jolla and the Tennessee boat. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go and have our speaker now. I'd like to introduce Rose Campbell. She is the communication director of the Colorado Community Living Centers, veterans retirement homes. Rose?
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here tonight. As was introduced, my name is Rose Campbell. I've worked with our veterans homes for 9 years. What an incredible honor to be able to work with veterans, veteran spouses, and Gold Star parents. I'd like to introduce my colleagues who are here tonight. First, speaking right after me, straight from Fitzsimmons, the admission director from Fitzsimmons Veterans Community Living Center, Tamara Hain. And she'll be speaking soon. I also want to introduce to you two of our division leaders. First, Ryan Vermouth, who is the master at the computer and really helping us out with our technology tonight. He is the division director of all of the veterans homes. In addition, we have Jesse Cohn, who is our deputy division director, and they've come tonight to meet all of you to support this mission of presenting information to you about our veterans homes. So thank you so much to Commander Paul Litz, who invited us to come. We really feel honored. I also want to recognize the individuals who are here in this room that volunteer at Fitzsimmons calling bingo, and they're going to be there in about a week. But just how much we appreciate and value our volunteers and how important that is to the entire operation of our veterans homes. So thank you so much. Welcome, wave. So the first picture kicking off, if you haven't had an opportunity to ever come to Fitzsimmons, I wanted to let you know that we have space for 180 veterans, veteran spouses, or Gold Star parents who could live at our veterans home. We have expansive rooms, expansive outdoor grounds, lots and lots of patios, different kinds of layouts of the rooms. Tamara's going to talk a little bit about that. And as many of you know, we're located in the shadows of the VA hospital. So many individuals come to us that for a short time or a long time that need service and so conveniently located to the VA. The next slide is what you know about the concept of a veterans home. Every state, including Puerto Rico, has a veterans home. Several states have many. We have 5. We'll talk a little bit about that. But at least every state has one veterans home. It's a collaboration and a partnership with the VA, the Veterans Administration, and the states. So our veterans homes are managed by the state of Colorado. 4 of them are. One is a joint venture with Spanish Peaks Hospital and in collaboration with the VA. Many people are extremely confused. You know, they think we're the VA. Of course, that would be easy to make that thought, but we are run by the state and great deep partnership with the Veterans Administration. In 2021, we did a needs assessment regarding what are the needs of veterans who may potentially need skilled nursing care in the future. We found in that needs assessment that veterans have unique healthcare needs, unique and advanced healthcare needs. And if you're ever interested in reading the, I think it's like 50 or 60 page report, it's on our website. And we'd love for you to take a look at it because it really talks about what looks like for the aging veteran here in Colorado. So increased medical needs and increased mental health needs. And we're working every day to meet the needs that we can forecast and the needs that we currently have for our veterans. Next slide shows you a map of Colorado with the locations of our 5 veterans homes and 1 domiciliary. So I'll give you a quick geography round tour if you want me to, but starting off at VCLC Fitzsimmons, you know that's located on the Anschutz campus right next to close by the VA hospital. If you head out west, we have a veterans home at Rifle. We do a lot of partnering with the Grand Junction VA, and we have many people that will find it to be so worth it to drive the distance to Rifle from the Grand Junction VA hospital. In addition, if you're heading straight south on I-25 over in Florence, Colorado, a very small community but very mighty veterans home, we have individuals that really come from that triangle of Canyon City, Pueblo, and Colorado Springs, and also from the Florence area. Lots of veterans that live there. If you continue down on I-25, you'll run into Spanish Peaks Veterans Community Living Center. That's one that's a joint partnership with Spanish Peaks Hospital. It is not state-run, but still a veterans home, and they are attached to Spanish Peaks Hospital. If you ever are on I-60 or Highway 160 headed to Sand Dunes or Alamosa, you drive right by it. And then if you take a look over near Alamosa, about 10 miles west in a town called Monte Vista, you'll see Home Lake. Home Lake has been here since 1881, the original sailors and soldiers home, and they have a domiciliary, which are apartments for veterans. It's an unbelievable product that they have there. Not only a skilled nursing center, but they also have cottages, domiciliary cottages for veterans and veteran spouses. It's numerous acres, over 100 acres of land, and a beautiful property with a veteran cemetery with lots and lots of services that are available. A beautiful veteran cemetery in the round where we have Union and Confederate soldiers buried right next to each other. It's just incredible, incredible history down in the San Luis Valley. Finally, in the next slide, I'm going to talk about who we serve. So we spend a lot of our time dispelling rumors, vicious rumors about our veterans' homes. Let me give you a couple. People think you must have had to have served in wartime to be eligible, and that is not true. We admit residents and veterans that have an honorable or general discharge. We also hear things, people say, oh, I thought we had to serve overseas to be eligible for a veterans home. And that's not true at all. You never have had to leave the continental U.S. as a military member, a service member, to be eligible for our veterans homes. There's many others that we hear about as well. And Tamara will talk a little bit about that, specifically about service connection and what it entails to be a veteran or a veteran spouse or a Gold Star parent to be eligible. Second, veteran spouses, you would need to be a current spouse of a veteran or a widow of a veteran. So basically, if a person's, first spouse was a veteran and they've subsequently married someone else, they're not allowed to tap into, that first spouse veteran benefit. They have to be either a current spouse or a widow of their veteran. One thing I want to leave you with before I turn it over to Tamara is that if you know a veteran that needs nursing care, skilled nursing care, apartment care down in the San Luis Valley, domiciliary care, short-term rehabilitation, you've had a knee replacement, you just need a little bit of extra therapy or rehabilitation, this is the place you would call. You would call Tamara. If you're living here in the metro area and you're interested in Fitzsimmons, she's the person you'd call. It is shocking for us to hear stories about people that didn't know at all about their benefit. We recently heard a story about a person that spent $100,000 in a different nursing center, not a veteran's home, that would have been eligible to stay at our place completely for free. And, it's just so maddening to think of the opportunities that people might miss, the camaraderie, the fellowship. I mean, just this group is a perfect example of the friendship and the support and the life-giving camaraderie that we feel comes from being surrounded by veterans, veteran spouses, and again, Gold Star parents. So I'm going to turn it over to Tamara, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about the details of our veterans home, in addition to specifically items about Fitzsimmons that we think would be really helpful for you to know.
Thank you, Rose. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of all of our staff at Fitzsimmons, again, thank you. We're so honored to be here and speak with you, and thank you for our freedom. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about the Fitzsimmons Veterans Home, where I'm the admissions coordinator, and a little bit about what it takes to be there, what you need to do, and if you ever need to come play. So we only do skilled care at Fitzsimmons. And what skilled care means is that you need 24-hour nursing care. So whether that's short-term care or long-term care, we do both. Short-term care is when you might have an accident, illness, or injury, you're in the hospital, and your doctor thinks you need to go somewhere inpatient to get stronger to come home. So we do that. We also do long-term care. That's where people come and live, typically till the end of their lives. We also have secure memory care at Fitzsimmons, and that's for people who need memory care that might get confused, want to go home, but they need that 24-hour nursing. So we also do that at our facility. Skilled nursing would mean that you need help round the clock with things. I think I have ADLs up there. What that means is activities of daily living, like getting dressed, remembering to take medication. Maybe you have trouble cooking, need help showering, things like that. So that's how you'll know if you or someone in your family needs that round-the-clock skilled care. So at our facility, we do things like taking care of all the medication. We have an on-site pharmacy. We take care of wounds or any other condition that would need 24-hour nursing, such as dialysis. Maybe you need to manage insulin, things like that. Oh, and I do want to mention before I forget that our nursing home has been named #1 in the state by Newsweek for 2 years in a row. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to try to make this really simple, and we'll have time for questions at the end. But this is how your care is covered at Fitzsimmons. If you're a service-connected veteran at 70%, service-connected disability rating up to 100, 70 or over, then VA is going to pay your entire cost of care, everything for either short-term or long-term care. Any other veteran that is not service-connected disabled can still come to our home. We can help any honorably discharged veteran. And if you're coming for a short-term care, meaning rehabilitation, you use your Medicare to come to our home. And long-term care, you can pay privately. And that is $240 per day for a veteran. And we also accept Medicaid. Medicaid is the state-based aid program, different from Medicare. Medicare helps you with rehab. Medicaid helps with long-term care. And then we also accept veteran spouses. For a spouse, there's only 2 ways to get a home. One is through Medicare. That's if you're coming for rehab. And the second one is private pay. And that's a little more expensive for a spouse. That's $378 a day. Or you can have Medicaid as well for a spouse. Okay, this is the exciting part for me. We do everything sort of in-house at Fitzsimmons. So when someone comes to stay with us, resident's going to have a primary care physician that visits you in that home, in that setting. We also have your podiatrist, optometrist, dentist, audiologist. They come into the home as contracted providers. So you don't have to coordinate your care and go to all different spaces to get this done. It all comes into our home. And everything is covered. So that $240 a day or your service connection, what that's going to cover is all of your medications, all of those ancillary services. If you ever need oxygen, that's covered. We have our own transportation department with our beautiful vans that can take you back and forth to your appointments, wheelchair transport. Anything like wheelchairs, walkers, those are covered. Your medical supplies, wound care is covered. Another great thing about Fitzsimmons is that if you stay with us long-term, and you have a need for physical therapy, we can do that right in the building. So you don't have to go to another facility to get physical and occupational therapy and then come back. We can do that for you. And our activity department is amazing. We have more activities on a daily basis than you would ever want to do. We do all the stuff you would expect in a nursing home, like, bingo and word games and trivia. But we also had a brewer come and teach us how to make beer. So the residents brewed beer. We had a raptor show the other day with big birds. The ROTC comes and sets up a disco. So we had disco dance. We have an ice cream parlor. We have a brand new, beautiful greenhouse that we have a gardening club. So just all the religious services, live music, more than I can even think of. So plenty to do. And then that 24-hour nursing coverage, which is so important. So as on the slide, that's a VA requirement. It's not mandatory at all homes. But at Fitzsimmons, you're going to have a nurse available to you 24 hours a day. And also one that CNA is available to you 24 hours a day. So my favorite story to share with people when they come to tour is when I started work at Fitzsimmons 6 years ago, and I was being toured around the building. What they told me was even though I was going to be working at the front desk, they didn't care that if I had a stack of files this high, if I was buried in work, if I am out on the floor, if any of our staff is out on the floor, and we are asked by a veteran for something, anything, glass of water, directions to their room, what the activities are for the day, we drop what we're doing and we help that veteran. We take it as such a serious responsibility and honor to care for those that have cared for us and to give back to you. So that was the place I want my loved ones to be. That's where I want it to be. And I've been there 6 years now after working all over the city. So I really feel strongly that there is a difference in our veterans community living centers. We served POWs, we've served four-star generals, we've served everybody, and the history in our building is amazing. And no matter where or when you served, we honor everyone the same way. And yeah, you really need to stop by if you can. I'd love to show you around. You'll feel the difference immediately. So if you or someone that you love and that is qualified would ever like to apply, first of all, I'm your person. I'm going to give you all business cards if you ever need us in the future. The application process is very simple and it's very quick. As Rose said, we've never had a wait list. We don't have a wait list. We are first come, first served. I have lots of bed availability. So basically, in short, I get military information because we are run by the state, not by the VA. When I say military information, I mean a DD 214, whatever you're going to use to pay for your care. So typically that's the letter from the VA that might say I'm 70% connected. So I get all of that demographic information. Then we get your clinical information from a hospital or your doctor. And we look at both of those things and we make sure that we can meet all of your needs. We make sure we can meet your medication needs, therapy needs, the whole 9 yards, and then we would accept you to come into our building. What makes us different, we have semi-private rooms. So they are gorgeous. There's what you can kind of see it on the top left there. We have large 11 by 11 rooms. You have your own room. You do share a bathroom. So it's a semi-private unit. When you walk in, there's a large bathroom to one side. One person stays on one side, one person stays on the other. We provide the bed, we provide the furniture, and they have huge bay windows and they're very, very nice. They have their own call lights, their own temperature controls. So they're nicely appointed and we encourage everybody to come and decorate them the way they would like when they move in. What else did I want to share with you? Oh, when you come in, you can feel the difference in our home compared to a typical nursing home immediately. There's a lot of patriotic decor, but we also have our own, what we like to call a museum, cases up and down the hallway where our residents donate items to look at that are military items. Lots of military activities, but just a very dedicated staff. Our food also makes it very different. Whenever I tell the residents that I'm going to come talk to somebody, they want me to share that the food is amazing. Our kitchen director is a veteran himself, and he takes it very seriously. So, yeah, they tell me that the flavor profiles rival any five-star restaurant. That's a direct quote. So, like I said, I love to tour, so anybody that's coming by in that area in Aurora, please give me a call. I'll be happy to take you around, even if you're just looking for the future. I'm also happy to speak anywhere. That's how much do I have time left, Rose? Like 3 minutes. The last thing I would love to leave you with that I'm really passionate about. If you're not registered with the VA for your health benefits, even if you might never use them, it's so important to get registered. It might be the difference between paying $7,300 a month and paying $0 a month. Even if you never ever use that benefit, you're not taking it away from anyone else. You're not using anything of it. It is an earned benefit from your time in the service. So if you have any health conditions that you think may be related to your time in active service, it's definitely worth going to the VA and getting that checked out. Again, if you never use it, you never use it, but if you need it, it's good to have. And does anybody have any questions? No?
If I have a surgery, they require 2 months of rehab or whatever, when you come to our,
That might be a VA benefit, but it's not through Fitzsimmons. You would be coming to us. So if you were to have a surgery and your case manager, your nurse says you need inpatient rehab, you would just tell your social worker, send a referral to Fitzsimmons. That's how you do it. But no, we don't go into the
So, you didn't say per se, but if they have, the patient has, for example, a stroke,
yes.
that kind of thing, which is going to require, providing that they are able to start a recovery process, some sustained care, which may be for some time.
Yeah,
That's available to you all.
absolutely. A lot of the time we do what would be called a rehab to long-term care or a rehab to possible long-term care. So let's say someone has a stroke, they're in the hospital, they need that rehab. When they're done with their rehab, if they're not ready to go home, they just transition to long-term care. And in our facility, that doesn't mean moving rooms, it doesn't mean changing staff, it's just a change in the status of you being there. Absolutely.
Is there any financial limits or like net worth or monthly income that you check?
Oh, that's a great question. So if your service connected between 70 and 100%, we don't need to know anything about your finances and you would keep everything that you normally keep. Any kind of disability, the only benefit that would go away if you came to us is if you have a benefit called aid and attendance. That's because that aid and attendance benefit is, we're going to be doing the same things for you in the home. But other than that, no, there's no income limit. So, it's you're either service connected disabled or you're using your Medicare or your Medicaid or you're paying out of pocket. But no, there's no income limit.
You mentioned the cottages in one of the facilities. Are those long-term or is that for short-term?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, and Rose, correct me if I'm wrong, those are long-term. I have not been privileged to go there yet, and they're amazing. They are the only thing that I know of that the VA would pay for at your 70 to 100%. It's more like assisted or independent living. And yeah, those are long-term care.
that's at home lake.
That is home lake. That Pam is up there. And if you look at my card, we're sister homes. So we work very closely together. If you're looking at a place that's more rural, we will absolutely hook you up and get you pointed in the right direction.
Is there anything that, I live here in Lakewood and my kids live around, I got the daughter's car. Anyway, can I should put in my will or trust or something, if I need nursing home care and they don't know anything about Fitzsimmons?
Well, I'm happy to give you information to take with you. And I'm not sure about a will of pointing it in the right direction. But yeah, I would definitely, does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Step up here so I'm not yelling across the room. As you age and there's something called a medical durable power of attorney. And what that does is that will name somebody to make those medical decisions on your behalf if you are ever incapacitated or unable to do so. So talking to your medical durable power of attorney and saying, if I would ever need this level of care, or if I needed to go into a nursing home, I would like to look at Fitzsimmons or any other location like that. And that would give them the ability to do that. Once that medical durable power of attorney is enacted, then they would be able to admit you into the community as well at Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have some cards.
Yeah, absolutely. I brought cards, I brought brochures. I want to share with you.
I think it's an excellent idea for us to come down and visit you. I really, and I intend to do that.
Great.
So become more knowledgeable.
Can get it on the calendar right now. I can't tell you how passionate and excited I am about our home. It really, truly is different. And when you get there, you will be excited about it. So, yeah.
It's in my head.
What's the current census?
Our current census, I believe, is 130, it's between 133, around-ish, 135.
What's the max that you can?
The max at Fitzsimmons would be 180. So prior to COVID, I would have trouble having open beds. Our beds were pretty full. Post-COVID, there's a national healthcare shortage. So we want to make sure that every single person that we bring into our home is not about heads in beds. We are not just bringing people in. We are making sure that we look at every veteran that applies all the way through so that we can meet every need they have.
We come the third Wednesday of the month to do bingo.
Yeah.
And that's a great opportunity. We get to see how you take care of the residents, and we have fun with them. And so we really thank you for letting us come and enjoy it.
Oh my goodness. Well, we thank you so much for coming because bingo is a serious business.
$2. So are you rushing the global attorney to the 5 wishes of fit that mold? Okay.
Yes.
You might explain that.
So there is also a document which is called the 5 Wishes. It is a very comprehensive guide that you can download online, and it goes through all of your medical decisions from what you would like done, like a living will if you wanted to have specific medical treatments done and for a length of time. It goes over if you needed long-term care and talking about where you would like that to be provided. It also talks about who you would like to make those decisions for you, and goes not only through the decisions that you'd want to make for your medical care, it also goes into things like, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, we all are going to end up requiring funeral services and talking to your family about what does that look like? What are specific traditions that you would like to have at your funeral? What are music choices or scripture? So it takes all of these areas and really gives your family or friends the ability to understand what you wanted in your own words and your own choices. So the 5 Wishes is an excellent document, and it's the number 5, and then just wishes.
When they, both my parents and my wife's parents had 5 wishes. We have it, and all 5 of our kids have it.
Wow.
Okay? That's how important it is for our family.
Yeah.
The new building next to the parking lot in front, is that part of your,
It is not. That's a great question. So on the one side, there is a over, I want to say 65 for veterans only. That's run by Aurora Housing Authority. And on the other side, there is a new building as well. That's the brick building that's closer to Colfax. And that is run by the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. Yeah, so those are 2 brand new buildings. So we're hoping to work more with them because we can kind of, but I see our residents kind of mixing and mingling out there. We've got a beautiful new outdoor area between the 2, but yeah, not part of us. Thanks again. Thank you so much for having me, and let me know if you need any more information.
In appreciation for your presentation, we would like to offer you summary
Topic bud.
Oh, what a Hall of Fame. Throw in our Fitzsimmons Hall of Fame displays that when you come and see, you'll be able to come and see that. We also have the availability to host a meeting at some point. I don't think we have as delicious food. We usually don't have food served, but if that's ever an option, we'd love to invite you.
Okay.
So yeah, anytime. Thank you so much. What an honor.
Thank you.
Okay, next month we do have a speaker, Skip Swords, and he's gonna do a talk on home safety. Okay, so let's take a break. Coffee and cake.
Okay, cool.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda today. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is elections. I put out an email about we want to possibly split the secretary and the newsletter editor. Do we have anybody who volunteer for either one of those positions? Anybody interested in doing that? How about just the one? Yeah. How about for the co-treasurer? This is an individual that will learn the software, locations of everything, so that if something was to happen to Grant, somebody be able to at least guide us in the right direction until we had somebody to operate. Is anybody interested in doing that? This is an appointed one, and you can actually be an associate member. No. So if you read my email, not only do we need new members to maintain our organization, we also need people to be active. So just keep that in mind. So right now, the three elections or the three positions we have open for the election is treasurer, and Grant has agreed to continue. Our secretary and editor, Dan said he would continue if nobody stepped up, but it does mean that we are going to pause the newsletter for a few months. And then we have the vice commander, Dale, who's also said he would continue for another year. Do I have anybody else interested? No. Marcia did. So, since these are the only three are running, and I see a yay for people that want to elect all three members in those positions.
We knew you'd do that. We didn't even have to ask.
So we're going to continue as is for the next year. I just want people to remember that we've got to have active members or this organization is not going to survive. Okay, the swearing in for the new elections or for the officers will be next month. Robert.
I do have a question. I meet some like this last year. How do we go about convincing them that it's in their best interest to attend these meetings? He came to the last meeting and now he's not interested. I don't know.
That's a big clunker. That's a problem, and our next thing on the agenda here is talk about how to get new members, how to keep new members. Dale and Tammy and Jack all went to the Western Roundup, and they had a whole day, right, where they did nothing but break into small groups and did brainstorming on how to get new members and how to maintain new members. And then once each group decided if there were 5 top ones or something like that, they then went up to the front of the entire group of people there and they brainstormed all the different ways. We have a list of certain things that were recommended based on the Western Roundup.
I mean, everybody works, everybody has worked. Granted, we have the luxury of time on our hands for a lot of us. But when you get a young kid, he seems very upbeat. And now he won't even answer his phone calls.
I think it might be a lot to do with all the gray hair he's got here.
What?
the gray hair that he saw here, I mean, there isn't anybody that's even close to his generation. That I have no idea. Gary.
Trip shared at our local Rotary Club in Brookfield. Same challenge, and one of the things that we've done that has had some amount of success is once a person indicates an interest, that I went and met with them and found out from them personally, with a meeting. I usually fed them lunch too, so it was a little. But I said, well, what do you want to get out of the organization? And then I shared what the organization expects out of them, and that one-on-one kind of connection has worked with the Rotary Club, and I think it would work with this club too, because there's a lot of gray hair in my Rotary Club too. And we meet at night, just like you guys do. And that's a challenge for the younger. They have family and they have things to do, but you've got to make it personal. I think you have to make it clear, hey, we want to support you and what you want to do, but there are things that we expect too. And one of them is showing up, monthly meeting. Rotary is even tougher. That's weekly meeting. So that's one idea that you might take on, and it'd be nice to have sort of a little new member orientation. 5 things you ought to do to claim membership or something like that.
Okay. So Tammy made up a list of the top items that they talked about at the roundup. The first one was a QR code. Everybody here know what a QR code is? So, they recommend that we put that on our floats. We have banners that show your email address and stuff, but nowadays people can take a picture, get the QR code. The QR code will send them to an application, and what was the other thing?
Invitation to come to a meeting.
And an invitation to come to a meeting. So we are going to be working on that, and we'll put it on our float during parades. Now, they also recommended was that our floats that we go to county and state fairs and let the kids play with the ooga horn.
Bill, you talk about the QR code, but you ought to put it on those cards that we have too.
Oh, right. That's a good idea. Like on the back side.
Yeah. Anywhere.
Yeah. Front side's full. Okay, that's a good idea. But county fairs, state fairs, if we just bring the float there, have a couple of our guys there, let the kids play with the horn, they said that they get good results on that. So just getting us out in the public's eye. Flyers.
Trunk or treat. Anybody know what trunk or treat is? Yeah. They got them all over town now because kids don't go door to door. Take the boat to a trunk or treat. They said that the kids will line up for 3 blocks just to get some candy and push that button. Drives the parents crazy, but we can all take our hearing aids out. It's okay to drive parents crazy. Fender.
Okay, so this is things that we need to figure out around Halloween. Okay. The next thing was flyers. How many of you remember the flyer I generated that I was going to send out to each one of the veteran centers or the local universities? I sent an email out to everybody, and attached to it was the flyer. Had a picture of a memorial, and then it listed everything that we do, how to get a hold of us and contact us. Everybody remember that? Anybody remember that? I'll go ahead and send it out again. What you need to do is, okay,
Thank you, Robert.
so we have a code already made up? Okay.
5 minutes ago.
Okay, so when you go to the doctor's office, if he has a bulletin board, you stick it up there. If you go to the grocery store and they have a bulletin board, you stick it up there. Everywhere you go, you stick this flyer up, just so to get it out to the different locations.
Perhaps ROTC, that's CSU, it's Army, Air Force, and Boulder, it's all three. And I think we have a couple down south as well. So ROTC units and send them to their commanders, school buys.
Okay, yeah, well, we need people that are already qualified submariners.
Oh,
So our ROTCs are not really into that. That's why I sent it out to all the veteran centers, the mines, DU, CU, Metro State, Greeley. I sent them out to all of them and I got one person back. And he's going to join. He just has to get through 6 months, classes and stuff,
for example.
his exams.
How about sending to the Legion and VFW?
You know what I did when I first took over? I found every VFW and American Legion throughout the whole metro area, and I emailed every single one of them. I got one reply, and he said he had one submariner, and I don't remember, but I think it was somebody that's already a member of our organization.
Give them a flyer to put up. Let's take a flyer up anyway.
Flyers are good. Okay. American Legion.
How long ago was that?
Good one.
That you emailed everybody, contacted?
That was a year ago.
Okay. Probably something to do on a regular basis. People change.
Oh, that's. I don't know if I saved all of them. Took me hours to generate all that shit. Okay, where? Anything? Yep.
It's already been covered, but I know there are veterans groups at like CU that has people who are veterans. And I don't know if any of those are submariners, but contacting, the veterans.
That was the veteran center. That I went to each one of the universities, contacted them, asked them to send out information and stuff. So yeah, that was the one person I got. The next one was personal contact, Gary, that you talked about. If you do meet somebody, you give them a card, try to get a contact information for them, an email or a phone number that we can then follow up on. Just giving them the card with your name and number isn't going to go anywhere. It just disappears, gets stuck in a drawer. Cal.
Well, on that same line, if, what might be useful, at least it would be for me, that if I had a small packet of info that I could give to people that may be inclined to want to come and be a member. Because
The flyer works really well. If you remember it, I had all the stuff broken down and contact information about what we do, what we represent, stuff like
do
that.
you have any more of those?
I will send out a email with an attachment out to everybody again.
Thank you.
Okay. Trunk or treat, what we talked about. What's that farmer's market?
Yeah.
If we were to just park our float at a farmer's market with a couple guys, it doesn't need to be a whole group of people. Just one or two can sit there for a few hours and hand out stuff. Those are other information. And the last one was LinkedIn Premium Search. That was the second thing I did when I first took over was I did a search for all the submarine veterans that are on LinkedIn, and I came up with 60 or so. And out of those, I actually got about 3 or 4 people that joined up. So that condo guy is only here once and never showed up again. So those are different things that they talk about. The final thing to talk about is our meeting times. We have it on the evenings when the weather is really bad on winter months. We have people who can't come anymore because they can't drive at nighttime. So there was a thought about moving our meetings to Saturday at 1100. Well, we would do that during the winter months. So October, November, December, January, February, March. Those 3 months or 6 months would be done on a Saturday at 1100. I already talked to the Post. They could probably do it without any issue at all. They'd have lunch just like they do now for dinner for us. How many people would be interested in having a Saturday meeting, especially during the middle of the winter?
All the time.
Well, the issue with all the time is they would give us an important member back in the far corner. Larry is the president of the Umpires Association. So
State UIC for Colorado, Wyoming, softball, and national rules.
yes. So during the summer,
March through October, I'm very rarely allowed.
yeah. So and he's a pretty important behind the scenes type guy. So that's why I was thinking, 6 months on, 6 months off. Is that agreeable? Or because I figured during the summer months, an evening meeting is not that bad because sometimes it's still light outside when we leave it. So
You need a motion?
I don't know. Do we need a motion?
It's up to you. We already had a vote. 99% of them said, yeah, let's do it.
Well, then I guess we passed. We will work on that and then we will start letting people know about what the issue is. Right now, we're in the middle of the 6 months. We're still maintaining on Wednesdays. We'll switch it in October.
Could you consider also having it after, say at 12:30 or 1? I mean, an afternoon meeting? Yeah.
Well, what we would do was, we would have 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock to be the social hour, just like we have now. The meeting would start at noon. Is that not too early or what?
Yeah, it's just me. So I go to a Christian men's fellowship in the morning. It starts at 7:30 and usually gets out around 10. So I can drive those 2 hours.
So, is that every Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But if it works for everybody else, then I think that's the way to go.
Bill?
I'd consider trying to do that maybe for 3 months and see how it works. Because I think doing it for the full 6 months, you're gonna lose more people. But if you do the, say, like November, December, January or something. But,
Okay, we'll
6 months.
consider,
yeah, got some consideration.
we need to get that all planned and worked out. My thought process that I told to the Post was the second Saturday of each month when we're in the middle of that. So like we do the second Wednesday, on the other time, second Saturday. Well, that went over better than I thought.
Change is hard.
It is. Okay, next thing on the list. Minutes. If there's no correction to the minutes, then we will publish them as they were put in the cavitation. Does anybody have any changes? Okay, they're so published. Mr. Treasurer. Grant, you want to quickie?
Well, for the month of April 2024, we had a total income of $185 and total expenses of $17.68. The expenses were for, since I've changed the Zelle address to ops.treas
at RockyMountainSubvets.com. We have an email charge now for $2 a month because we didn't have an email on the website. Now we have an email on the website that's featured there. So that way I can take my address off of it, you know, and get out of it. So it's the base's email address, not mine. So that's that. And the other was we compensated the dinner for our guest speaker, 2-month Ray, for Ray Boyd. And the rest of it was the income was dues and proceeds and going out. If you want the full breakdown of everything that we've done over the last month, I have that available over here. If you want to come and see what it is, come up, talk to me, and I'll show you everything. Okay.
Okay. Birthdays for May. We had Bruce Weller, Terry Krinder, Bruce Marston, who's out of date right now. Myra. There you are. On the 9th.
29th.
Oh,
29th.
heavens. Let me make that change. I
Don't
know.
rush my birthday.
Helen, the 12th. Tudor Davis, the 16th, and I think he's 100 years old, right? That's what we did last time he was on. Carl Rash is the 19th, and Sandra Keller is the 29th. Now, birthdays for June. We have a Rip Storing Robert Williscroft on the 9th. The only one. Do we have a volunteer to bring the cake for next week?
And I didn't even wear my hat into the bar. Oh,
Okay, good. Okay, committee reports. Tammy, do you have anything to pitch?
We did have the 50th anniversary couches and coins. I got some more reference of that. That couple of my calendar stuff that anybody wanted. And I am going to have, I do went through some stuff, has got some shirts and hats and things, so that will, Brandon's going to do a page for us. I just need to take pictures and they'll be available out there so if anybody wants to picture or ultimately start. Put prices on so you guys can get for it.
Okay, webmaster, do we have, remember we're still looking for a webmaster, new one. Take some of the load off of Grant. Do you have anything to talk about other than what was in the newsletter? Nope. Okay. Okay, now some sad news. Cats for Kids. Kathy has had to back down from Cats for Kids. She is in the process of putting her mother into hospice back in Virginia. And so right now she's not in the state of mind. So we're in a pause again. I think I'm going to give her about a month and then I'll email her and talk to her about getting all of the supplies and stuff back from her. So we're back into a pause again. If there's anybody interested in taking over Cats for Kids, let me know. Okay, bingo next Wednesday, 10 o'clock.
Yep.
1919 North Quinton. We just had to talk about it. It's great. It's a lot of fun to do. Sometimes they get really rambunctious. Andy, you have anything to add to the bingo, or how many people are going to be able to go? And I know Patrick has shown up at the last 2 or 3 years, something like that, so he'll probably go too.
Just one comment, last month, the parking out front got full, so there's a parking access behind the building off of Peoria. So go, Colfax to Peoria, go north, and then I think it's your first right or second right, you'll see the building, there's parking back there.
So, how about right across the street from the main entrance? that big parking lot. Sometimes it's totally empty, sometimes.
That's paid parking, but
I've been in there 2 or 3 times and nobody collected any money.
I confess the same problem. What time is this?
It's 11 o'clock, not usually 10 o'clock. We usually get there about 10 minutes early so that we can set up and people come ragged in. It takes us about an hour. We're there for about an hour. A lot of fun. Anything else? You think you'll join us? Okay, bring your vest.
It's good orientation for the time when we get to go.
When you first come in the main entrance, there's a desk, lady behind the desk. You have to, for the first time you're there, you have to show her driver's license with a picture or something. Then she prints out a name badge for you. When you come back out, you have to turn that badge back. Okay, we have our parade set up. We went to them last time, Texas Park, July 8th. Golden Buffalo Days, July 27th. Littleton, August 17th. Windsor Harvest Day, September 2nd, and Frederick, September 21st. UBC, I gave all my input for the newsletter. This time of the month is really fluid because they're still in session and bills are flying right and left, and it's hard to keep up what's going on. Yeah, so memorial service on the memorial. Okay, we tried to do some corporate donations. We thought we had one that was pretty good and it fell through. So when we discussed it on our executive board meeting last month, we had Dale and Tammy donate $500 to a memorial with their company doing another 500. Dan donated 500 with their company doing another 500. Bruce Marston donated $900, all to our memorial fund. Then Grant wrote a really good letter to National explaining the situation, and National has agreed to fully fund the replacement of the flagpole. Wow. So that worked out pretty good. This flagpole has been ordered. It's the highest rated aluminum pole that they have. It's rated for 120 mile an hour winds. It's 30 feet high. It will support a 5 by 8 foot flag. If you remember, that's why the boat pole we have right now is bent, because we're trying to large a flag on it, and it just wouldn't support it. We went out and did the locate already. What we're waiting for right now is the permit from the city of Denver. We do have the company that's doing it's called AC Flag and Banner, and their project manager, Zach Wilson, him and his wife are the ones that own the company. And I think I've told you once before that he has already said that he's going to install the whole thing for free. That's $1,200. In discussions with him as we go along, finding out this and that about the pole, we realize that the ones there has got to be dropped and cut up, the existing one. And we knew that was going to cost some money. So I talked to him about it, and he said he's going to do it for free. So based on the members that have donated money and the help that Zach Wilson is doing from the flag company, we would like to do a plaque to represent their endeavor on getting this flagpole replaced. And of course, Grant did a really nice drawing on what we're going to do. So I don't know, is this something we need to talk to the vote on, Grant, or do you think this is something we could just decide to do on our own. Do I have a motion for doing a flag dedication of those individuals? So move, second, all in favor? Okay. So if you've looked at our poll right now, what we have is a cement slab or a cement pylon. And coming out of there is two large iron bars. And then our existing pole is bolted between those iron bars. So what we're gonna do is cut those bars at a 30-degree angle and then mount the plaque right on the top of those bars. And it'll be a 8.5 by 11 brass plaque, right? Wow.
So we put lots of words. Put a QR code on it.
That's cool. Thank you, Jenna. That's a good one. Bill?
You can do that too. New flagpole, they have a cross arm on it.
Yes, it's a identical. They call it a nautical mast is what they call it. And what we're going to do is at the 10-foot level, we're going to have 3 locked boxes. And so that all we need is a step ladder to get up to that 10-foot section thing, and we can raise and lower the flags ourselves. And so we don't need the bucket truck. And then we can change it out every 4 months when the flag starts getting ragged, instead of waiting once a year. Okay, so everything is coming along just fine.
High windstorm, the flag is hurt.
It is, it's shredded. Mine, my house is just a shadow of itself.
Will it be lighted?
Yes, we have it lit up.
Already lit now.
Yeah, there was one issue, I thought I'd just bring it up. When we were down there scoping it out and locating where he's gonna drop for the new flagpole, if you notice on the top of the old flagpole, there's a 12-inch by 12-inch plate with a big, huge brass eagle on top. Has anybody ever noticed that before?
Yes.
I've been going there and dusting. I've never noticed until just the other day.
You gotta look up.
You gotta look way up to see it. Snack said he'd like to keep that and put it on the new pole. The only issue is we don't know how it's attached up there, whether it's welded. The other issue is it looks awful damn heavy. That might be why the existing pole bent over. So when he gets ready to drop it, Grant and I will be out there and we'll make a decision as to what we have to do to try to maintain it if we can. The pole that we got will come with one of those pole balls that sits up on top. So we'll just continue on and see how we're doing from there. Give you a little bit more update on our memorial. I've got the bugler lined up. I got Amanda Hawkins to sing the national anthem lined up. I have the rifle salute team lined up. He's already approved that. I got that Lori Mingler
From post 22.
Post 22 Air Force veteran. She's the one that did the flag folding ceremony last year. A lot of her input was really good on how we should structure that saying. And that's the people I've got lined up so far.
I got the color guard and we're gonna stand by.
Okay. And that reminds me, what was the group that just gave us all the supplies?
From First Class Pickup Association from the NIA.
Okay, they were the ones that were supposed to have done some renovations to our memorial last summer. And they, in the corner there's tons of paint, brushes, rollers, all sorts of stuff. Did you bring your truck today?
No. I'm just kidding.
Okay, we'll back that son of a gun up the door. We'll move it up.
You can look on your face.
I didn't want to take it home. A 5-gallon paint or this.
In the back of the caddy.
There you go. Okay, yes.
Do you have any ideas for speakers?
I do, but it's still in the works. Why? Do you have somebody?
I have a classmate, 6 years in Hanoi Hilton as a POW, and he's a terrific speaker. And he lives in Colorado Springs.
Do you think he would be interested?
I think he would be very interested. He was shot down over Hanoi, and it's incredible what he survived.
Okay, so email me all his information.
Pardon me?
Email me all his
Yes.
information and I can contact, see
Okay.
if he'd be interested.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be fantastic. Okay, Robert just walked out on the float, updated the float.
David, you contacted Mark Dawn?
Yeah, the bugler, Mark. Yeah, I already got a hold of him.
And I have the Children of the American Revolution coming again this year with coffee and water and snacks.
Okay, good. All we need to do is the Sea Cadets. I need to contact them.
Do you have a point of contact?
I do.
Okay.
Because I think it was brought up by Myra. We're only a few months away from Memorial. So hopefully we're waiting for a permit. We got somebody on it, keeping them in line to try to get that as soon as possible. Once we get that, we're going to get the flagpole going. Okay, our first social get together is going to be May 18th at 1100. And we're going to meet at Bono's Pit Barbecue. It's located right off of Dry Creek Road and I-25. It's kind of south, so the people up north have a ways to go, but not this quarter, but the quarter after that, we'll do something up in the northern part of the metro area.
That's one good, right?
What's that?
July 4th of the other thing.
Well, that's the next quarter. The quarter after that is going to be somewhere further up north too. Somewhere like Thornton or Westminster or something like that. Fort Collins. Yeah. Okay, it is at 9393 East Dry Creek Road.
And it's in the newsletter.
And also I'll send out an email again to remind everybody. It's called Bono's, B-O-N-O-S Pit Barbecue.
You're gonna let me read the newsletter.
I was gonna let you know that she complained, so better start showing it to her. So, it's May 18th at 1100. Show of hands, how many people will be there? Holy
Twice.
twice.
Are we to help out in any way, like bring something?
No, this is a restaurant. And you go in there and they'll, you order off the menu.
Is it being paid for by the state?
No, it's not. The person will pay for their own. So it'll be like a luncheon.
It's Dutch Street.
Dutch treat. I hope to have a good turnout. We told them between 20 and 25. So let's not disappoint. Okay, we're out. So then the following quarter, we're going to have barbecue at Tammy and Dale's on July 4th.
Oh,
July 6th.
July 6th.
That's a Saturday. Pay attention, Paul.
Aye. The 6th. And then we have the 8th up in Estes Park.
And on the 6th, you can bring something, but talk to her about it, don't talk to me. I'm burning burger brats.
Did you say bringing or burning?
I'm burning.
Okay.
Okay, you bring a side of fish and what you want to bring and cheers. I don't count. And then we'll cheers on other thing.
We got seating for about 12, 16.
Very well. Patty craft.
USS call, yes.
Our rodeo, this year is cowboys.
Cowboys?
Cowboys. Salute to cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Remember last year we had a salute to the armed forces.
Yeah. Okay, we've already registered and everything we're set to go for.
Say again?
We're already registered for the parade.
Well, did I actually send that?
No, I got an invite from the head of the coordinator for the parade.
Stinker, he didn't even tell me. I told him I was gonna get it.
It's already done, registered, we're ready to go.
I'll take another thing off my to-do.
Okay, JJ,
You are from Colorado? The updates, so, as, was previously mentioned, this is called transferred from, Beauport of Groton to Hawaii. They got to Hawaii on, the 18th of last month, and, they had offered, as part of that, the association wanted to go out and welcome them to Hawaii. And as part of that, they offered us a ride. So last Saturday, we had 8 members of the association, took a day ride out on Colorado. And we went out, got on board about 8 in the morning. We were on board till about 1600. And we had a great time. It was an amazing ship. I took the Navy, the boat took some pictures. They wouldn't let us take any pictures on board. But I have a bunch of pictures from our approach on the submarine and other events that we did, because we got to visit Arizona Memorial. We got to visit sub base. And got a brief by COMSA Pact. And so there were a lot of activities, and I've told Paul I'm happy to do a presentation, put all those pictures together, do a little presentation for everybody as to what happened. So that was it. The next major thing is there'll be a change of command sometime in summer, end of July, or sometime in August, and find out more about that later on.
You guys got to dive, right?
We did dive, yes. We took some 20-degree angles.
Angles and dangles.
Those angles, just 20-degree angles, and from 200 feet to 600 feet. So I don't know how deep the boat could go. Wouldn't tell us that. And of course, it's all digital displays now. I couldn't figure out where to look to figure out the depth, and of course, I think it was up on a pilot station. So anyway, yeah, amazing boat.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Virginia class has a pilot. There's no help spent in it. They have just a pilot. There's no chief of the watch. What is that called now?
Co-pilot.
Pilot and the co-pilot handles everything that the chief of the watch and the helmsman between can get. There's no diving officer. If you're sitting on the con, where it used to be a periscope, there is no periscope coming down. There's 17 large screen TVs that wrap around the whole control room, and he can sit with this little joystick, the OD, and he can just, there's a multitude of cameras and positions he can look at, and he can pull up fire control, he can pull up sonar, he can do anything he wants, all on big widescreen TVs.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek.
Yeah.
It really is. And yeah, the chart, they don't have big charts. Well, I guess they have some in reserve, but it's basically an electronic chart they have that moves around.
I also heard that they don't have a throttleman now. I guess it's a reactor operator / throttleman or something.
They wouldn't let us back there.
Yeah, no, but it's bizarre.
We tried to ask the question and got roughly answers.
Okay, for the good of the order, a few more things here. We got a few more minutes left. We had one of those Vet Connects, May 11th, 1000 to 1300, Embassy Suites in Loveland. You get that email? I think I sent that out to everybody. Everybody see that? Yes.
The Veterans Museum is gonna have a representative up there too.
Oh, okay. Well, good,
So
good.
if you need a place to sit, we'll have some chairs.
Okay.
Okay, I'll come find you because I'm planning on going.
Yes, yeah. Neil,
Find me, I'd be happy.
The last couple times.
Skimmer, but that's okay.
Oh. Okay, the national scholarship essays have to be in by May 15th. We don't have our own anymore because nobody has applied for it in many years.
And they have to do the national one first before they can apply for the base.
Yes, yes. Okay, the next thing is, while we were there doing the locate for the new pole, we did a pretty good look at the memorial and it's in bad need of some repairs. So, paint, excuse me, maintenance, in need of maintenance. And so, talking it over with Grant, well, he has a 1,500 pound pressure washer. And he has the generator that we use for the memorial electrical needs. And so we're going to power wash all the brass plaques, then use a rotary edge cutter with a felt wheel, polish the faces of just the lettering, the power wash after polishing is complete, and then power wash again. So if you look at it right now, there's what looks like verdigris in all of the words and letters and numbers and stuff. But Grant pointed out that what it is, it's all polish. And so with this power wash, we should make them look almost brand new again. And we'll polish them up and do it. Then what we need to do is completely sand the torpedo, just a light sand to rough it up. Whatever they used last time was a dull black and a dull gold. And so what we're going to do is use Rust-Oleum gloss, black paint, and gold paint. And so we just need to rough it up a little bit so that the paint will adhere to it. Paint the gold, let it dry, paint the black, let it dry. Then we're going to use Rust-Oleum gloss white paint. Well, we have 10 gallons of white paint. Oh, hell, I don't know. And then we got about another 5 1-gallon cans. And didn't she say it was all white paint? It's all white. So we got almost 15 gallons of white paint.
Is that interior or exterior?
You don't know.
We don't know. We just uploaded it. It's just right over here by the door. If you want to look at it. But it does have rollers and brushes and cloths and all that.
It's gonna be in my truck. I'll investigate.
Okay. Then you let Dale know because he's talking with Ames Hardware and they will consider donating what we need, right? Okay. So the next 2 days that looks good for us to do this is on the 16th and the 17th. That's a Thursday and a Friday. Do we have anybody volunteering for helping with that? Anybody else? Okay. Put the word out again in an email for everybody. Okay, one final thing. No, I just got one. You guys know that we had some horrendous winds this last couple days or weeks ago. And how many of you here have seen the tent, worked on the tent?
Bunch of it.
It's a bunch of us. It's a big ass tent. It's very heavy. We had it spikes screwed into the ground. We had it wrapped in cable. And it's still, the wind picked it up and moved it. So it went cockeyed, it went to the right about 2 feet, went back about 1.5 feet. So we're going to have to use a truck or something to be able to pull it back into shape. And we're going to have to check the corners again to make sure they're perfectly same distances so that the doors will close and all that kind of stuff. And then we need a few repairs to the back flat.
Don't forget my truck has a winch in the back.
Well, that's right.
So we might be able to wrestle that thing around just fine.
Okay, so we need to figure out a time when something looks good to you. Could you email me and I'll put the word out.
Sure.
And you
I'll
want
look at something.
to remember that and see. Okay. Okay, and final. 50-50. Or does anybody have anything else for the order? Let's do 50-50. Call it a night. Little on right.
That's a 600 and 700.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
951-705.
Hey, I didn't play with it, I got the ticket.
Legit. Mary won. That's the first time I've seen you win, isn't it? Second time? In the last 10 years?
A year, first year, cheer, for a year.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay, now let us lead this quiet and tranquil life that was known in the deep and return to the reality of the surface. Surface.
And Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meeting that we were able to have tonight. We just thank you again for the friendship in this group, and we just thank you for a good speaker, for a good presentation by the VA, and Lord, just help us bring new members in. Just keep giving us ideas that we can bring new members in, so our group can be refreshed, and we can have some increased membership. Just look at those that are sick in our group, the people that can't drive at night anymore. We just thank you for technology that they might be able to watch it on the computer at least and still be part of the group. But everything. Just look up our young men and women that are in the military. Ask for you to give them successful missions and go home safely, and watch over the United States of America in these difficult times. Just help our elected officials to make wise decisions, and that we would all be safe. We just ask you to continue to bless this group and increase it. We ask that you would bless everybody here tonight, and may God bless the United States of America. Amen.
Amen. Don't forget, I've got cards up here. If you need cards to hand out to people that you run into up at the desk. Okay, meeting. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, second, so done.